It's time for the Pack That playoff brackets. Cue exciting music, future me. So here's how this is going to work. We're both going to predict these wild card games that are happening that are set in stone, right? I have two playoff brackets pulled up. Once we're done predicting these wild card games, we are going to go the rest of the schedule all the way to the Super Bowl and see who has a better bracket in the end. Let's start off with the Saturday games, January the 10th. The first game that we've got, the number 5 seed, Los Angeles Rams, visiting the number 4 NFC South champions. I'm going to say that again because who would have thought this would happen this season? The NFC South champion, Carolina Panthers. I'll start us off here. Um, yeah, this is an easy game to predict for me. Early in the season, when Carolina beat the Rams, they needed to play a perfect game, and they played a perfect game defensively. Bryce Young played a near perfect game, showing up in the clutch, throwing that amazing ball to Tedero McMillan in the end. It was a very high scoring game, but they needed the defense to get those takeaways from Stafford. Of course, Mike Jackson had the huge pick six. J.C. Horn had an interception. I'm sorry. This team is not a playoff team. They're a solid team, but they're not a playoff team. I think the Rams take care of business and they win by a lot. I think this could get as ugly as Bills Patriots a few years ago, if you remember that game. I think it could be that ugly. I don't think Carolina has a chance in hell to win this game. I'm going with Matt Stafford and the
Look,
Rams in a blowout.
let me tell you how this game is going to go because I'm pretty sure I've seen this game 1,000 times from the Panthers. What's going to happen? They're going to get out to an early 6-0 lead. First quarter is going to end. They're down 7-6. They're like, we have hope. And all of a sudden, Rams are just going to murder them in the second quarter. And they're going to go, sorry, we got halftime. We get time to recuperate. Smack them again. And then the fourth quarter comes, and by that time, the Rams could legitimately put in Stetson Bennett, and they would still win by like 1,000.
So I'm guessing you're picking the Rams too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the Rams move on. This is a game I know you're probably a little bit nervous about.
Not at
I'm
all. I'm
gonna,
not
I'm, I'm,
nervous at all.
I'm gonna start this one off too. I'm gonna let you go last for your team. The number 7 Packers at the number 2 Bears, 7 p.m. on Amazon Prime on Saturday night. This is one of the hardest ones for me to predict. I've had a lot of trouble with this game because this series, it's been a story of 2 games, of course. You're saying no shit. Of course it's a story of 2 games because they played 2 games. The common theme in this series is that Micah Parsons hasn't been playing, and that's huge. The first game was at Lambeau. It was a close one. Jordan Love played, and the Packers won. It was a close one. Caleb Williams came very close to saving the day for the Bears, but the Packers won. Game number 2, Jordan Love goes down early. Malik Willis comes in, balls out, but the Bears win in overtime with a beautiful 50 ball from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. Now, the common theme here is that the home team has won both games, but I'm struggling with this one, man. The Bears are getting some key pieces back from injury, like Rome Odunze. A lot of keys to this game, man. A lot of keys. Can the Bears stop the run? Josh Jacobs has been a little bit iffy to end the season, but he's the X factor in this game. If the Bears can't stop the run, the Packers will win this game. The Bears' offensive line has been the best in football. Ben Johnson has been the coach of the year to me. Caleb Williams has proven that he is the talent that all of us thought that he would be coming out of the draft. And you just love to see games like this in the playoffs. This is the game I'm honestly looking the most forward to. The best rivalry in football in Soldier Field, who hasn't had a home playoff game since the double doink. I have to go with the Bears. I just love what they've got going on. I'm
Yeah.
going to pick the Chicago Bears at home.
I think I hate to say it, I think that's the most likely outcome in terms of how good the Bears have been this season and just the inconsistency of the Packers roster and injuries and all that kind of stuff. My only problem with that is the past 10 years, how many times have the Packers lost in the first round, no matter what seed they were? They rarely ever lose in the first round. Now, second round is a different story. Don't ask me about that. But the first round, at
Didn't they
least.
lose in the first round last season?
Yeah, but that's one time though. But Jordan Love's healthy now. He's had a chance to kind of rest up a little bit. I think he'll be on point for this game. I hope he is at least. I know playoff games cannot end in a tie, but this, if it could, it would be this game.
I had a lot of trouble with this one.
I have to go to Packers just because you look at the terms of the rivalry. You look at these head coaches going at it. LaFleur just doesn't really lose against divisional rivals that much, and the Packers and Bears are going to battle it out each time, and I just have to go with my Packers in this one. Although if the Bears win, will I be upset? Yeah. But hey, congrats Caleb Williams, congrats Roman Dunze, congrats Luther Burden, everybody else from the team that I like. Y'all did it. We're gonna be back next year if we lose, but I don't think we're going to. I think Packers win.
This
You're
is the
referring
game
to
I'm looking the most forward to on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll let you
yeah.
take this one first. Who you got?
I mean, I understand why you're having a hard time picking this. Two great teams who did good things this season, but the second Josh Allen realizes there's no Mahomes, Burrow, or Lamar, he's gonna just take off. I think the Bills take it by about 10 points. The Jags, you'd love to see them here. You'd love to see them back in the playoffs. Who doesn't like the Jaguars? Love to see Trevor Lawrence balling out, but I just don't see any real competition, at least not yet, for Josh Allen in these playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Jacksonville is just such a good team for these playoffs. They're built to have a long playoff run. I honestly can see whoever wins this game could be in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see either of these teams go away round one. Buffalo, like you said, Josh Allen is a man on a mission in these playoffs for sure, judging by the fact that there's no Lamar. Well, he's had really no trouble beating Lamar, but really the underlying thing is he doesn't have to go through Arrowhead. He doesn't have to go through Kansas City. But what about the rest of the team? The receiving core is not good. Let's just be honest. The defense is pretty okay. But Jacksonville, man, Trevor Lawrence is hot. The defense is great, but they just don't have the experience yet. They had that huge win a couple years ago against the Chargers. Like you said, Josh Allen's a man on a mission. I think this is going to be a high scoring one. I think it could go to overtime. Hell, it could go to double overtime for all I care. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a close one. I'm picking the Bills by a field goal to win it. Sometimes it could just be that simple. Josh Allen, we've seen him put the team on his back and do this before, and I think this will be no different. So I'm going to agree with you here. Pick the Buffalo Bills to win it. Next up, this is the number 6 seed 49ers at the defending world champions, Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. You want to take this one?
I'll take it because I don't think this is going to be. It'll be a good game, yeah, but this is a tale of one thing for both of these teams: stop the run. And one thing that I don't trust the 49ers to do is stop the run. Now, I don't know how they've been doing it in the regular season. I don't know how they placed in terms of like run defense. All I know is that Eagles have Saquon Barkley, they have Jalen Hurts, and the Niners are missing Nick Bosa, and for one or two. I just don't see this defense stopping Saquon. At the same time, I don't really see the Eagles fully stopping CMC, but I think they can contain them. I don't think the Niners are going to be able to contain Saquon much at all. I think Eagles take this one.
I don't like Philly in these playoffs at all. The struggle that they've had on offense with Kevin Patullo calling the plays, it's just been ugly for Philly. It's been really ugly. They win against Buffalo, scoring 13 points. Great. They play in the division with a team that maybe we thought they were gonna contend for the division this season, but got hit with the injury plague with the Commanders, the team that made it to the NFC title game last season. Dallas, who on one side of the ball were elite and then defensively, we're just straight up awful. And then the Giants, who are the New York Giants.
Yeah,
But the 49ers play in the toughest division of football. They've had injuries, but are still able to put together a season where they were just a game away from being the number 1 seed. I just trust that defense, even with the injuries, just based off what we've seen. They put up a stinker on offense against the Seahawks, who have arguably one of the 3 best defenses in the league. But you take away that game and look at what Brock Purdy's done over the past few weeks. He's been outstanding. Outstanding. George Kittle will be back. Well, he already is back, but he'll be even healthier. Ricky Pearsall, when he's healthy, he's really good. Who's the person I'm missing? Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings. That's the other one I'm missing. Um, but they don't have one man on that Philly defense that can stop Christian McCaffrey. I completely disagree with what you said. They will not be able to contain Christian McCaffrey, whereas that Niners defense, I think, can contain that offense just because of how bleak it is. And they've had guys on the defense that have stepped up, like Tatum Bethune. I'm not sure if he's healthy. They just picked up Eric Kendricks, and he's been one of the best linebackers of the decade. He's a little older now, but I think he's the guy that can go and fill in. And the defensive line is still good, even without Nick Bosa. I'm going to pick the 49ers to win on the road. Philly's a tough place to play for sure. I think it'll be close. I do think it'll be kind of a lower scoring game, like a 21-18 kind of vibe. But I just like San Francisco a lot more than I like Philly. So that guarantees that we will have a new champion, at least on my side of things. Next up, the Sunday night game, the number 7 seed Los Angeles Chargers at the number 2 New England Patriots. I'll start this one off. This is another tough one because the Chargers are a little underrated. The defense is really, really good. You got Derwin James on that side, who's been one of the best safeties that we've seen in the past decade. What a career year that Tuli Tuipulotu has had for the Chargers. Just a well-coached defense, and it's going to be a tough matchup for Drake May. There's a lot going on in New England right now with Christian Barmore and Stephon Diggs, all the legal troubles that have been going on there. They got a very solid O-line. They're getting the rookie standout from LSU, Will Campbell, back, which is going to be huge. The receiving core has been just as solid as it gets. And we talked enough about Drake May already. You know how great he is. And their defense is just as good. But the big question is the Chargers O-line. All the injuries that they have on that offensive line, they've just been awful. Just straight up awful. There's really no other word to put it. Which quarterback is going to put the team on his back and will them to victory? Another key thing is the weather. You're taking the team with the Chargers that play in a very warm climate in a dome, putting them in Foxborough. It's going to be a tough time for the Chargers. And just based off what we've seen from Justin Herbert in these big games, he's an incredible quarterback. No doubt about it. You can't deny it. One of the best in the world. But in these big games, he kind of just seems to disappear. And I would love for that to change. You have all the weapons in the world. You get a Marion Hampton back. You have guys like Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnston. How great has Quentin Johnston been this season? He's turned it around. I'm going to pick the Patriots at home. I think Drake May needs another signature game here. I think he's going to play well enough to will the Patriots to victory. And just that Chargers O-line, I don't trust it at all to protect Justin Herbert. So I have to go with the Patriots here at home to win it.
That's fair. I mean, there's only one thing needs to be said here. Drake May is the MVP in my eyes. And with that being said, don't care. I'm going Chargers. I think Herbert is just. I just think Herbert's going to lock in these playoffs. I think he's going to see this. He's going to be like, for years, people have told me, "Oh, I'm overrated." I think this is where he's going to prove them wrong. I think he takes his game.
I like it. I like it. The last one is the Monday night game. It is Texans at Steelers. You go ahead and take this one first.
There really isn't much to say. I mean, the Texans are good. Steelers are the Steelers. Rodgers is 42. I would love to see Rodgers make one last playoff run. I just don't see it happening. Texans with the best defensive football to shut down that pass and the run. The Texans take this game. They're moving on.
I'm scared for Aaron Rodgers. I really am. I think we're looking at a situation like the 2009 Saints without bounties, allegedly. You look at the 2 playoff games that they played. They murdered Kurt Warner and then murdered Brett Favre. This is going to be similar to that. I'm very scared for Aaron Rodgers. This Texans team is the most dangerous team in the league right now, and I just don't see the Steelers winning this just in any universe. I am going with the Texans because the defense is insane, and CJ Stroud is playing well enough to where the offense is going to hang with the Steelers defense that is pretty good. The number 1 seed, this is my game. The number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks against the number 6 seed San Francisco 49ers. Again, divisional game. The series is split. I have to pick Seattle at home. This is a dangerous team. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind. JSN, what can you say that hasn't already been said? They're just a scary team in these playoffs, and that defense is incredible. I would pick them to win it. And for you, you have the number 7 seed Green Bay Packers going into Seattle.
Let's not talk about it. Seattle's next.
Let's go
Please.
to the AFC now, the top right. I've got the number 6 seeded Buffalo Bills heading into Denver to play against the number 1 Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos just find a way to win these games. No matter who they're playing against, they just find a way to win. And that's a good sign for a playoff team. They just find a way to win. They have a coach that's won a Super Bowl before in Sean Payton, one of the best to ever do it. Josh Allen is a man on a mission in these playoffs. I trust him to get the job done against the Denver Broncos. I'm going to go Buffalo Bills winning this one. For you, you have round 3 of the Chargers versus the Broncos in Denver.
You know how I said Herbert's going to prove the franchise quarterback? It ain't going to be proven this game. Fucking Broncos win. It ain't going to be proven this game. Not in these playoffs. Gonna have a great first game. He's gonna go into Denver so excited, so happy. Like, let's go. We're gonna take over. We're going to the Super Bowl. And dead. No, it ain't happening. I feel like in the Broncos in this scenario are like JaVale McGee. Just hear me out. You're like this analogy. You remember that clip of JaVale McGee faking an injury to get an open shot? I feel like that's how people are kind of treating the Broncos this postseason. Like they're looking at them, they're like, yeah, they've won a lot of games. A lot of the games were against bad teams, and when they played against good teams, they kind of lost, or they didn't win by that much. I think people are kind of giving them like that treatment. They're gonna like let them pass through, and then all of a sudden they're gonna slam that ball down in the throat. They're just gonna take the lead by 1,000. People will be like, "Whoa, what happened here? You forgot, dude. You forgot they're actually good."
That's good. All right, let's stay in the AFC in the bottom right. I've got the number 5 Houston Texans going into Foxborough to play the Patriots. Um, yeah, Texans win it. Patriots, their O line is good, but they're not that good. The Texans are dangerous. I've got to pick them. And you've got the Buffalo Bills walking into Houston in a divisional round to play the Texans.
Now, this would be an absolute great game if this actually does happen in real life, like I do think it will. Again, I think Josh Allen just finds a way to win. I think he's gonna. I think if Josh Allen ever is gonna win a Super Bowl, it'll be this run. Do I have him winning it? I have no idea yet.
Now let's end it, the divisional round. In the NFC side, we got the number 5 Los Angeles Rams going into Chicago to play the Bears. I'm going with the Rams to win this one. Really, not much to say there. They're just talented. They're more talented than the Bears, and the Bears are young. They're not ready yet. So the Rams win it. You've got the Rams going into Philly to play the reigning Super Bowl champs.
I think it's gonna be Rams by a good bit. I mean, I get Eagles good team, absolutely. The Rams level of team chemistry between their quarterback and receivers is just unfathomable how good it is. And I think the Rams are gonna easily walk away from this game.
All right, you've got the Bills at the Broncos.
Now this will be a great matchup, and like I said, Josh Allen wins these games. The Bills are moving on to the Super Bowl.
All right, I've got a game that you just had. The Bills at the Texans. Look, Josh Allen is a man on a mission. He's gonna get the job done in all these games. Just not this one. But I just have a lot of trouble picking against the Texans. I'm going with the Texans making it to the Super Bowl. I would have never thought I made this pick, but this team is just, they're the most dangerous team in football right now. And I've seen this game happen before. Look, it's hard to beat a team twice in one season. I get that. But I watched that Texans defense at home stack Josh Allen 8 times. There's no recovering from that. I don't think it's going to be 8 times that they sack him again, but it's going to be close to it. The Texans are just too dangerous to me. I have them in the Super Bowl. For your NFC championship, actually, for both of our NFC championships, we've got the Rams at the Seahawks. You take the lead again.
My MVP is Drake May, and I think that just lights a fire under Stafford's ass. I think Stafford's going to go out there and make it known he is going to the Super Bowl. He is going to run through that defense, and he's going to light it up with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Rams are moving on.
I'm not picking the Rams. I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks. Defense, 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 defense. That's my biggest thing. There's a lot of tomfoolery involved in the last Seahawks and Rams game, but man, what a game it was, and what a game Stafford and Darnold both had. But the biggest thing was the Seahawks defense, and they were able to stop the Rams in clutch time, and I think they'll do it again. I've got the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl. I'll let you start us off. In Santa Clara, Super Bowl 60. You've got Rams, Bills. Who are your champs?
Now, this will be a tough game. I think this is a game of just pure offense you're going to see. This ends up being the result. Pretty much the opposite of year two teams. I mean, you have Josh Allen, who realizes this is my chance. If I'm going to win the AFC and win the Super Bowl, it's going to be this year. You have Stafford realizing, look, this could potentially be my last chance to get, well, not to get a ring. He already has one, but this is my last chance. This is probably my last playoff run I'm going to have in my career where I can get this deep this easily. I think it comes down to the wire, but I think your Super Bowl 60 champions are the Los Angeles Rams.
I've got an absolute classic that if this was the Super Bowl, oh my gosh, take my money. Seahawks Texans. What a game this would be. The two best defenses in the league going at it. Man, I think the biggest X factor is the quarterbacks. Like I said earlier, CJ Stroud is playing well, but it's really just well enough to keep the Texans at a high level to keep them winning these games. Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind. I have to go with the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. It's a little scary picking a one seed because for the last few years we've kind of seen the one seed do a little more harm than it did good, except for
Yeah.
with Kansas City. We saw it with the Lions last season, but we're looking at a one seed with one of the two best defenses in the NFL. And Sam Darnold has just been too good. Jackson Smith and Jigba has just been too good. Rashid Shaheed, what a pickup he's been for the Seahawks. But one guy that I'd really love to see just kind of disappear and then reappear in the Super Bowl and kind of be the hero for Seattle is Cooper Cup. I think that would be insane to see him just put on a clinic in the Super Bowl against the Texans, where you kind of would need depth against that defense. We both got an NFC West team winning the Super Bowl. You've got the Rams beating the Bills in the Super Bowl. I've got Seattle beating the Houston Texans in the Super Bowl.